Gamer here, and well, it's been a while since the banners came out, and I am talking about Neuvillette and Kazuha. So, I'm gonna be showcasing Kazuha first, as you see in the title of the video, because I'm still currently building my Neuvillette. You already know how terrible artifact farming is, so I'm not gonna dive into that. So, today, we're just gonna be showcasing Kazuha. We're gonna be showcasing him and a lot of stuff. You already know how these showcases go, and if you don't, well, watch the previous showcase videos to find out. But anyways, enough about me rambling, enough about me stalling. It is time to showcase Kazuha, and let's showcase him. Well, first, we have to showcase my build, so let's just go to my build. So here is my Kazuha build. So before I get into my build, I have to tell you guys why Kazuha is built like this. So here is a little, well, advice. So you can either build Kazuha in one of two ways. One, you can build him as a sub DPS, or two, you can build him as support. Don't be like me, because I decided to do both. Yeah, I made him both a support and a sub DPS. You'll see what I mean. So, as you see here, his elemental mastery is basically pretty balanced. Same with his crit rate, crit damage, and ER. Yeah, don't do what I did. I just made Kazuha a jack of all trades. I mean, sure, he does do damage and he does support, but that means he's just mid around those two categories, sub DPS and support. So, it's either you run sub DPS and jack up his crit rate, crit damage as much as possible with ER, or you can do full on support and give him full EM and ER, because his kit support scaling is based off of his EM, and besides, you need to use his Q a lot, so that is why you need ER. As for sub DPS, it is Q and E, so crit rate, crit damage, obviously. So yeah, it's either you run him as a sub DPS or you run him as a support, but I didn't do neither of those, so yeah, what you see here is a hybrid. As for his weapon, I have Freedom Sworn. Yes, I did just level this up recently. If you have not seen the Neuvillette summoning video, you should see it, because that is where I got my sword from. So yeah. But what I previously ran is the Iron Sting, which is a 4-star free-to-play weapon that you can use by crafting in the craft. Yeah, you can just craft it with sword billets, and then there you go. You can get a R5 Iron Sting, as long as you have 5 sword billets. But yeah. That is what I previously ran, but now since I did pull his 5-star weapon, I just ran Freedom Sworn, because it's his best weapon, so yeah. As for his artifact set, I have Viridescent Venerer 4-piece, which is his best set. There's no other set you would run on Kazuha, because he is meant to be a ANEMO support sub DPS, so yeah. Mainly because he gets to decrease the elemental res of the element that is infused on the swirl reaction, which also combos well with his talent. So you want to build him with Viridescent Venerer. There is no other set you would run on Kazuha unless you are running a budget set. Then you can just run 2-piece Viridescent and 2-piece Wanderers, so you can have ANEMO damage and EM. Or you can run any other set that can give you stuff like 4-piece emblem or 2-piece emblems and 2-piece Viridescent, which is ER and ANEMO damage. But it really doesn't matter what you build him as, because Viridescent is his only set you should run because of the benefits that the set gives you, which is elemental res decrease. So yeah. As for talents, I have him at C0. He doesn't need constellations to be good because he's already good with his base kit. So yeah, the only reason why you would want his constellations is to get the C2, which gives you flat 200 elemental mastery for free. So yeah, you could literally just do Kazuha Slash and get 200 for free. Yeah, you get 200 EM for free for characters on the field and also Kazuha himself. So yeah, it is really, really good if you want to get him C2. But as I said before, he doesn't need constellations to be good because he's already too broken. So yeah. And as for talents, I have 6, 8, 10. Yes, I did level this up to level 10 because this is his best move, basically his bread and butter. You want to be using this a lot because a lot of things combo into Kazuha Slash, which right here, as you see here, when you do a swirl reaction, you're able to do damage, Also with this, you're able to do more damage as long as you have enough EM. So yeah, as long as you have a lot of EM, you're able to increase the elemental damage bonus on the swirl that is affected. So yeah, that's the reason why you want to build your Kazuha either as a sub DPS or a support. For sub DPS, it's this because this punching attack will deal a lot of damage. And for support, it's this because he's able to give elemental damage bonus to whatever is affected by the swirl. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is my Kazuha build. Pretty wacky, right? I mean, he's both a sub DPS and a support. He has his premium weapon and he has his artifact. So now you are probably curious as to what Kazuha can do. Well, wonder no longer, because we are going to Spiral Abyss and testing out Kazuha teams. But I have to give a disclaimer first. There is a lot of Kazuha teams out there, and well, I can't showcase them all, so I have to limit myself to 10 teams. Yeah, 10 teams, because Kazuha is literally universal. He could literally be ran on any team ever. So now that you know that, let's just hop into Spiral Abyss. Alright, so here we are in floor 11, chamber 1. So the reason why I chose this chamber is because there is a lot of enemies, and well, there's no interruption. So we can basically just do our damage. And besides, they are not affected by elements besides the rock hilichurls with the shields. So yeah, all we have to do is just worry about those, and well, that's it. I mean, we could just test our damage here, and there's nothing to worry about. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna be choosing this because it doesn't affect all our stats, which is mainly EM, ER, and then attack or crit rate, crit damage. So yeah, I'm gonna be choosing this so we can at least showcase them in their raw stats. So yeah. Well, anyways, here's the first team I'm gonna be showcasing, which is, I think, Kazuha's most famous team, besides the Ayaka Freeze team, which is the Neuvillette, the Neuvillette team with Neuvillette Hypercarry. So as you can see here, we could just do Kazuha slash, and then we could do all our stuff here. Let's do E burst, and then do the charge attack, do like a bajillion damage to the enemy. Yeah, there we go. As you see there, look at that damage. Kablam. And then we could just put this up again. I think it'll be affected by the Hydro Swirl. Yeah, there it is. Let's do Farina. And let's do a charge attack. 43k, 39k. Remember that my Neuvillette is not fully built. So this is not final damage numbers. So yeah. Well, there you go. There is the Neuvillette team, the Neuvillette Hypercarry team. As you see there, he performs really well. He is able to give energy particles back to Neuvillette, meaning that he's able to do a lot of damage. Same with his other party members, with Baiju and Farina, able to get their hydro particles in so they can do their bursts again. So yeah, it is a really, really powerful team. And he also decreases hydro res because of his swirl. So yeah, it is a really, really good team that Kazuha is in. So yeah, there is his first popular team. I'll just showcase his second popular team, which is the Ayaka Freeze team. Alright, so here we are with the Ayaka Freeze team. This is also another common Kazuha team, just because, well, you can either swirl via cryo or swirl via hydro, and then they freeze, as you see there. So you're able to get, or you're able to rack up free damage, basically, on them, because of, well, they're frozen, they can't do anything, they freeze in place. It's pretty, pretty consistent. Damage-wise, and also pretty consistent on the freeze, as long as you're able to put up the hydro just in time, as you see there. It works really well against the hydro rock Metaturals, as you see there. Kablam. There we go. Let's just do this so we're able to gather them up right there. Alright, let's get some hydro in, freeze them. We can just do our damage. There we go. Alright, let's finish this off. Bam! There we go. So yeah, as you see there, Ayaka Freeze team, it's not as good as the Neuvillette Hypercarry team, but it still works just fine. I mean, as you saw there, it's able to freeze consistently, it's able to do a ton of damage as long as you build your characters properly. So yeah, pretty good team nonetheless. And, well, it's time to showcase one final, well, popular team, which is a Kazuha Vaporize team. You can build it however you want, but I'll just put my own spin to it. So yeah, well, here is the Kazuha Vaporize team. Alright, so here is a Kazuha Vaporize team. Again, as I said before, you're able to customize the Vaporize team as much as you want, but this is just the thing I'm going to be rocking here. So it's either you start off with Hydro or you start off with Pyro, and once you do that, you're able to do a ton of vaporized damage, as you see there. I mean, look at that damage. Yeah, I mean, nothing to scoff at, right? And plus Hu Tao is not under 50%. So, yeah, she's able to do that much damage and she's not under 50. Alright, let's do this again. Let's do Kazuha Slash. And then let's do Hu Tao Charge Attack. I think she's under, yeah, she's under 50 now. So she's able to do damage. As you see there, 78,000. Really, really good damage. Alright. Let's try to affect them with Pyro this time. Maybe we can, oh, never mind. Yeah, I don't think we're able to hit them here, so we can just do a charge attack there. Let's do a aim shot. They're not coming down anyway. There we go. Alright, let's do Kazuha. Kablam! There we go. But yeah, as you see there, Vaporize team is still pretty good. I mean, vape damage, right? So yeah. You can, of course, mix and match it with however you want. It doesn't have to be Hu Tao. It could be also a Hydro DPS like Ayato or Tartaglia or Neuvillette. It really doesn't matter what you bring on the Vaporized team, as long as you bring a really good DPS with a bunch of supports. So yeah. Well, anyways, there goes the popular team. So it's now time to showcase my other teams, and I got some pretty good ones in mind. So let's just go to the next team. Alright, so here we have a Taser team, aka Electro-Charged. So again, it's just like the same principle. You either start off with Hydro or you start off with Electro. Depending on what you start off with, that element does more damage. But really, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at that, 200,000 damage on burst. Yeah, Raiden is just way too good. Same with the Taser team. This is just a Taser team, which is one of her weaker teams, and she's able to perform this good. Alright, let's do Kokumi E. Let's do Farina Burst right here. And then do Raiden Burst. Bam! 176k, as you see there. Look at that damage. Alright. This should be the last set of enemies right here. Kablam! There we go. Alright. I think they should finish them off. Just Farina killing them all. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, as you see there, Taser is pretty good. I mean, does a lot of damage. It stuns the enemies. It's really, really, really good. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next Kazuha team. Alright, so here is an Overload team. You already know the principle by now, so let's just, well, let's just beat these enemies up. So yeah, well, you already get the idea. Pyro, Electro, Overload damage, big damage. That's all you need to know. So yeah, well, let's just do a lot of damage here. Yeah, 16k. Yeah, standard Kaching damage, as you see there. Let's just do this. So they're able to decrease their Pyro res. We're able to do our Overload damage here. Let's do charge attacks, so we're able to do a lot of damage. Yeah. Alright. Kablam! Let's do this, so they're affected by Electro. Oop! That almost killed me. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's do Kuching Burst. Do some damage here. Alright. That should be done. There's like 2 more or 3 more enemies over here. Let's just bring them down. Oh! Okay. They are annoying. Overload is also annoying on yourself, of course. You're able to get knocked back, which is really bad. But yeah, there you go. There is the Overload team. Again, all of these teams that I showcased are really interchangeable. You can literally just interchange anyone with Kazuha, and they perform fine, because Kazuha is like literally the best animal support in the game. I'm not joking. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is a Kazuha team with Overload reaction. It's time to showcase more reactions with Kazuha. So let's just move on to the next team. Alright, so next up is a standard melt team. So, this team is not really as like used much as the other teams that I already showcased, but it still does its job. I mean, you're able to do a ton of melt damage as you see there. I mean, look at that. By the way, my cleat is minimally built, so you'll see really low numbers on her. As you see there, like 14k on charge attack, which kind of sucks. But, she's still able to do her job, so, yeah. That's all that matters, right? It's just able to, do as much damage as you can. Alright. Let's do Jumpty Dumpty. We can just do a bunch of charge attacks here. And we can do a jump attack, or jump cancel charge attacks. I don't think we have stamina. Alright. Let's do this. We are protected via shield, so that's good. Alright, let's do burst into E. And we could just do charge attack jump cancels as you are right here. Yeah, it's so weird because what is it? Klees, or to play Klee in like a competitive level, you have to learn charge attack jump cancels. It's just like Hu Tao where you have to learn charge attack jump cancels too. But at least with Hu Tao you're able to dash. For Klee you have to do jump or jump cancel charge attacks. But yeah, there we go. There is the melt team. Not really that much well to say there. I mean, it's just a standard melt team with Kazuha in it. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to move on to the next team. So let's just get to it. Oh boy, here we go. Now this is where it gets really wacky. This is the Aggravate Quicken team. You already know how good this reaction is. And if the swirl gets affected by Electro, you could probably already see what the issue is here. You're able to do a bunch of dendro damage. You're able to spread a lot of Electro reactions on other enemies. It's just way too good. Alright, I think he's able to... I don't think he's affected by Electro yet. Probably these enemies are. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but as you see there, look at that damage. So much. Kablam! Alright. Let's just do a lot of bursts here. Let's affect everyone. I think that got everyone, I'm pretty sure. Let's go to the enemies over here. Alright, and let's do burst and finish this off right here. There's the last enemy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but as you see there, a lot of damage. As long as you're able to affect the burst with Electro, you should be fine. Because Dendro just sticks to the enemy, so you want to do reactions. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is the Aggravate Quicken team. Speaking of Dendro teams, it's time to showcase another one. So here you guys go. Here is the next team. And you thought Quicken Aggravate was broken? Check out Hyperbloom. Yeah, one of the best reactions in the entire game. It's important that you first must do the hydro reaction first, so you can get the blooms on play on the field. It's really important that you do hydro first when you do a swirl. Either electro or hydro is fine, but that means you have to swap in between the two elements in order to get them on the field. So yeah, let's just do this. Let's get hyper bloom reaction there. As you see there, look at that damage. So much damage. Alright. Let's do swirl reaction, get them gathered up. And yeah, as you see there, look at that damage. Just so much damage. Let's do swirl again. Kablam! There we go. And let's do a hydro right here. Able to affect the whole thing with hydro. And that should be the last enemy right there, so let's just finish him off. Yeah, he just has to shield up. I'm just waiting for him to do that attack. Yeah, there it is. Alright. So yeah, there it is. There's the Hyperbloom team. Obviously, that's not the best showcase, but against a single target enemy, you're just gonna be seeing numbers and numbers everywhere. So yeah. Well, anyways, we have 2 teams left to showcase, so let's just get on with it. You already know probably what this team is, so let's just showcase it now. Yep, the ANEMO teams are not complete without showcasing the Soup team, aka a mixed elemental team. So yeah, well, if you know how these work, then you already know how. You mix 4 elements together, and then you create, well, chaos, as you see here. You're able to basically combo your swirls. You're able to combo a lot of elemental reactions. It's just way too good. I mean, look at that. Kablam! There we go. And then we're able to bring these back up. Let's just get all their bursts back. There we go. And then let's just do this. There we go. Alright. Let's do elemental skill. Another elemental skill. And then let's just do burst. But yeah, as you see there, look at all of these elemental reactions. Way too good. Alright. I think we're able to get our elemental skills back. There we go. Kablam. Tag everyone again. Do burst again. Yeah, it's able to be comboed with a lot of things because Kazuha is able to give particles back. So you're able to just do a bunch of damage with Kazuha and as well as his other teammates. So yeah. Well, there you go. There is a Kazuha soup team. Just a standard soup team. Just mix all the elements at once. So yeah, it's pretty standard. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase the last team. And well, you probably already know what this team is because this is Kazuha's best free-to-play team. So yeah, let's just get to it. That's right, this is Kazuha's best team. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. It's the national team. So yeah, just like how Raiden is really good with the national team, Kazuha also works well with the national team too. Because of, well, I'll say it again, elemental reactions. So yeah, you're able to do a bunch of elemental reactions. You're able to do a bunch of annual reactions as well with swirl. You're just able to do a ton of things. And plus, since you are getting ER back, you're able to get your burst back consistently as well. So yeah, as you see there, kablam, big damage. You can just do burst again, do a bunch of big damage here. Yeah, look at that. Kablam! There we go. So yeah, it is a really, really good team, especially against a bunch of heralds. If there is a floor with a bunch of heralds, you can just run the Kazuha national team, and you're able to do a bunch of damage. So yeah. Well, there is all the teams I wanted to showcase on the Spiral Abyss. Of course, there is a lot more to showcase, but again, there is just a lot of characters in Kazuha teams. So yeah, mix and match however you want. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase Kazuha against Inazuma bosses. So let's just get to it. So first off, we're gonna be showcasing him against Signora. So let's just get to her. Alright, so here we are in the Signora domain. So of course, we're just going to be challenging Signora. We're just going to be showcasing Kazuha against bosses. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. So yeah, well, this is the team I'm going to be running here, which is the Taser team against Signora, which is pretty good against her. So yeah, I haven't showcased enough about the Taser team, so this is just it's just another chance to just showcase how much power they're able to output. So yeah. Well, anyways, let's get this started. Alright, first off, we're just going to be doing this right off the bat, because there's no reason not to. There we go, affected by Hydro, and we can just let Raiden do all her work right here. But yeah, Farina just does a lot of damage with Kazuha. I mean, as you see there, Crabaletta, 59k on Crabaletta attack, which is really good. Let's do this, and let's just do that. There we go. We're just gonna be waiting out for the 4 crystal flies. So yeah, let's just do this. Or we can just wait for the moths. Alright, let's heal ourselves here. Might as well. Alright, let's do another normal attack. And I'm pretty sure there's one more we could do right there. Let's just grab it and attack. There we go. Alright, time for the real battle. Alright, here we go. So we're going to be dodging this one. There we go. Do this. Let's do Kazuha E. Let's do Kokomi heal so we can heal everyone up. And we can also feel Raiden's burst as well. Alright. Let's do Farina. I think this should give us Kazuha Q right here. Yeah, there it is. We can do Raiden burst and then finish her off quickly. There we go. Yeah, but as you see there, Taser is pretty good. Basically what I'm trying to say is Kazuha is really good on any team. So yeah, that's why he's just way too good. He's like the best ANEMO character in the game. So yeah. Well, anyways, time to move on to the next Inazuma boss, which is the Raiden Shogun. So let's just get to her and let's just finish this off with the Kazuha damage showcase. Alright, so here we are in the Raiden domain. So our goal here is to utterly obliterate her. So we brought the best team in the game, or one of the best teams in the game, Neuvillette, Farina, Kazuha, Baiju. So, well, you already know how much damage these guys do. So, well, let's see them in action, shall we? Alright. First off, Farina, E. Of course, we always have to start off with Farina E. We're gonna have to get Kazuha's particles really fast, though, to get, our hydro damage up. So we can just use this time to prep ourselves. And there we go. All right, let's just wait for. All right, so it's the real Raidens are here. Kablam! Let's do this. Let's do that. Do this, and then do big charge attack damage. And we could do it again because we have another 3 orbs. Kablam, there we go. I mean, look at that. Really good damage right there. Alright. Let's heal ourselves. Let's do another Kazuha E. And then let's just finish her off in a distance right there. Yeah, there we go. We beat her just in time before she was able to obliterate us. So yeah. Well, there you go. There is the Neuvillette team. So, as I said in the previous segment, I am going to be doing a Kazuha damage showcase. So, basically, try to get Kazuha to do as much damage as possible. So, let's just do that right now. So, here it is. Here is Kazuha's damage showcase. And let's just get to it right now. So, here we are back with the Raiden domain. So, this is going to be our team right here to showcase the power of Kazuha with his max damage output. So here we have Kazuha, who is the main DPS, of course. Here we have Xingqiu, who is going to be providing us with hydro support. So yeah, able to do a bunch of damage and also able to do interruption resist just in case Kazuha gets knocked off his feet if he does his E. We have Zhongling here, who is here for the pyro damage bonus on elemental resonance. And then we also have Bennett here, who is able to buff us with, well, we can showcase it here, with Skyward Blade, Noblesse, with C1. So yeah, and also level 13 Burst. And same with Zhongling here, as might as well just showcase it now. We have Pyro Nado, who's able to give a 15% pyro damage bonus. And also, we have Beware It's Super Hot, who's able to basically give our Kazuha 10% attack. So yeah, we're basically ready to showcase him in action. So here we go. Here is Kazuha's max damage output. So what we're going to be doing here is to affect the element of our choosing, which is going to be Pyro most likely. So yeah, let's just do Bennett E for that. And then do Kazuha thing. Alright. Do this, do that, and we're able to do our max damage output. So let's do this. Kablam! There we go. I think that's not a crit, so we could just do that again. Yeah, I don't think we're critting this time. We can just do a burst here, able to get our elements up. We do have a second chance though once Raiden is over with her second phase. Alright, that's 9k. I think that's not without boosts and not without bursts. So yeah, we're gonna be Yeah, I guess we could just still wait until Raiden's second phase so we can do our damage. I think. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. Luckily, we have Bennett Burst. Alright, let's dodge these. We're going to be doing some passive damage right here, so we're able to basically get her shield down. Alright. We're going to be timing our burst. Bam, there we go. No damage. Alright, let's do E. There goes half of her shield already, which is nice. Alright. We're gonna have to be doing a lot of elemental stuff. Do E, there we go. Alright, we got the shield up in time, which is really good. Okay. Alright, now it's time to whittle down the rest of her shield, which will take a while. Alright, it's doing that big sword attack. You can just go behind her. I think she's about to do her desperation move. Yeah, I think she's about to do her desperation move right here. We can do burst here. It's fine. We're able to get it back once she's done with this phase right here. Alright. We can just hop over these. There we go. Hop that. And we're able to get our burst back. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna be doing this very fast, so let's do that, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that, and then do elemental skill. Kablam! 24k! There is your max damage output for Kazuha. So yeah, pretty good damage. I mean, just standard Kazuha damage right there. So yeah, there is my max damage on Kazuha elemental skill. Remember, he is like a hybrid. He is support and sub DPS, so it's not really high numbers, but it's high numbers to me for my build. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is the Kazuha damage showcase, and now it's time to go over my overview and final thoughts on Kazuha and give my final conclusion on him. So, well, let's just go to that. So here is Kazuha, who is a wandering samurai of Inazuma, who is now affiliated with the Crux Fleet. So yeah, well, as always, I'm going to be going over Kazuha's talents and constellations and give my overview and final thoughts on him. So let's just go to his talent. So his talents: normal attack, Garyu Blade Work, which does 5 rapid strikes, and also when you do his charge attack, he's able to do 2 rapid sword strikes. So it's your pretty standard normal attack. You're not going to be using this as much unless you have him C6. If you have him C6, then you could basically make him an ANEMO DPS. So yeah, that's the only exception that you'll get if you want to level up his normal attack. But since most people won't have him C6, you don't need to level this up. So yeah, it's just a standard normal attack. First E, Chiha or Buru. Or Chiha Buru. It basically does a short jump, which does AoE animal damage, and then if you do a left click, aka a plunge attack, you're able to do even more AoE animal damage. So yeah, so basically it's like a plunge attack. So you press E to go into the air, and you press left click, aka the attack button, to do a animal plunge attack. You can also hold E to create a larger AoE, and you can also do a plunge attack as well to able to do more damage. So yeah, so basically it's just Kazuha's bread and butter. He's gonna be doing this a lot, using his E to do damage. It is his main bread and butter for sub DPS and also support, because for support you're able to do swirl reactions. So yeah, definitely a worthwhile skill to level up. And for his Q, Kazuha Slash, he does a AoE damage move, which creates a big circle around him, which is called the Autumn Whirlwind, and it does AoE animal damage. And also, if an element comes into contact with the Autumn Whirlwind, aka Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, Electro, you're able to do elemental damage of that type. So think of it like Venti's Q, where if the element is affected by the swirl, you're able to do that damage against it. So basically, if you affect an opponent with Hydro, and then you do Kazuha Slash, that swirl becomes hydro, so it does hydro damage. So yeah, you get the point. Same with pyro, cryo, electro. So yeah, this is Kazuha's main bread and butter, because with Kazuha's slash, he's able to support the team. He's also able to do a lot of damage for them as well. It's just his bread and butter. So yeah, you want to level this up. For his passive talents, we have Somon Swordsmanship, which if Chiha or Chiha ya Buru comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, you're able to absorb that element and you're able to do elemental damage against it. So yeah, so basically if the opponent is able to basically have Hydro, you can do Swirl and then do that damage. And also it does an additional 200% attack and with the absorbed elemental type. And also it'll be considered plunging attack damage. So basically it also scales off of Shangyun. So yeah, you could just use Shangyun and then it is considered plunge attack damage, so it's able to basically scale off of Shangyun's burst, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can have Kazuha become a plunging DPS if you want to. But this is mainly used to spread elements, this passive talent, because with your added ability to basically have your E become an element, similar to Kazuha slash, you're able to basically spread that element. So if a opponent is, say, affected by Electro and you use E, you're able to absorb the Electro and then spread the Electro around, because your plunging attack becomes Electro element. So yeah, and also since it does an additional 200% attack, you're able to do a ton of damage. So yeah, pretty good passive talent. And Poetics of Fubutsu is Kazuha's main passive talent that becomes, well, he is cemented as being the best support in the game, or one of the best supports in the game, because of this. Same with sub DPS. Because of this passive talent, he also becomes one of the best sub DPSs in the game. So yeah, but as you see here, upon triggering a swirl reaction, you're able to get 0.04% elemental damage bonus on the swirl for each point of elemental mastery you have. So if you build them with high EM, you're able to do a bunch of elemental damage. So yeah, it is really good. Oh, by the way, it has no limit. It has no cap limit. So yeah, you're able to pump as much EM as you want, and you're able to do a bunch of damage for your party members. So yeah, so basically it pays to have high EM with him. So yeah, it is really good. And besides, it's swirl reaction, so it's not tied to burst, it's not tied to E, it's tied to passive talent on swirl. So yeah, as long as you do one swirl, aka one E or one Q, you're able to do damage. Or if you are C6, one normal attack. So yeah, this is a really good passive talent. You can stack him with as much EM as you can, and he becomes like one of the best supports in the game. So yeah, nothing to sleep at right here. And next up is his overworld passive talent, which is Cloud Strider, which basically decreases your stamina consumption on your own party members by 20%. Specifically sprinting stamina consumption. So yeah, this is a really good overworld passive talent. Also, Kazuha is really good on overworld explanation, because you basically get a double jump. You can literally just jump and press E and you're able to do a double jump. You can also hold E to get an even bigger boost off the ground. So yeah, he is really good on exploration. So yeah, with a good exploration elemental skill and a good exploration passive talent, he is basically cemented on being one of the best exploration characters in the game. So yeah. And now it's time to talk about constellations, which are pretty good on him. He actually has some pretty good constellations. So let's just look into it. So C1, Scarlet Hills, decreases the cooldown of his E by 10%. And also when you use Kazuha's slash, you're able to reset the cooldown of his E. So basically, you can use E, Q, E. Yeah, that's a pretty good combo, right? Yeah, so you're able to do much more ANEMO damage. And, well, it's just really good. So yeah, really nothing to say there. For Constellation 2, you have Yamarashi Tailwind. So Yamarashi Tailwind, what it does is when you use Kazuha's slash, you're able to get 200 EM for free on Kazuha. You're also able to get 200 EM on the characters who are in the Kazuha slash for free too. So yeah, it is really good. It is super good. So yeah, so you're able to get 200 flat EM, as well as 200 flat EM for your party members. This is literally a really, really good constellation. So if you ever think about wanting to get Kazuha constellations, this is the constellation to go for, because 200 EM, that is really good. That's basically Sucrose. Yeah, that's Sucrose without having her build EM, because for Sucrose, she gives 20% of her EM to party members. So basically, Sucrose has to be at 1,000 EM to give 200 EM. But for Kazuha, he doesn't need that. He could literally just be at 1 EM and he gets 200 for free. So yeah, it's really, really good. Super, super good constellation. For its constellation 3, which is Maple Monogatari, you basically level up his E by 3 levels. Pretty standard. For its constellation 4, Uzora Genpo, which basically, if your energy is lower than 45, so basically if your Q's energy is lower than 45, you're able to get energy particles back when you press E or hold E. It really doesn't matter. So yeah, it is really, really good. So you're able to get ER back. It's really, really nice. So basically, you're able to get your burst back even faster than before. So if you think that your burst is really slow to get, this constellation will help, which basically gives you 3 or 4 elemental energy for pressing E or holding E. So yeah, it's really, really good. And also, it's when he's lower than 45, which combos well with constellation 1, which basically when you use your Q, you're able to get your E back very fast. So, well, you can probably already see the combo here. If you're already at 0 energy and you use this, yeah, you could probably already tell what the chaos is. And also when you glide, you get 2 energy per second. Basically, if you basically hold E and then you press space, aka gliding, you get 2 energy back per second. You're able to get your burst back really fast. Yeah, that is not a joke. So yeah, really, really good constellation. For Constellation 5, we have Wisdom of Bonsai, which basically increases his Q's level by 3. Pretty standard as well. And then we have Constellation 6, Crimson Moiji, which is basically his way of becoming a main DPS. So basically, this constellation right here, this constellation will basically make your Kazuha a main DPS. You want to run him as a main DPS because he is really good with this constellation. So if you use E or Q, which is pretty often, you're able to get Animal Infusion on your normal attacks for 5 seconds. And also, if you have EM on it, or if you have EM on your Kazuha, you're able to increase the damage you deal on normal, charge, and plunge attacks by 0.2%. So basically, stack him with as much EM as you can, and your Animal Infusion, normal attacks, charge attacks, and plunge attacks will be able to do 0.2% damage. And also, by the way, it says plunge attacks. His E counts as a plunge attack. So if he uses E, well, you can probably see there. That is Kazuha's best damaging move, his E. So yeah, pretty busted. And again, this combos well with his C1, which basically resets the cooldown of his E when you use Kazuha's Slash. So you could probably already see what kind of damage Kazuha is able to do. So yeah. But yeah, as you see there, all of his constellations are actually pretty good. So yeah, Kazuha is busted. One of the best ANEMO characters in the game. That is my conclusion. He literally supports. He is a sub DPS. You can make him a really good sub DPS if you give him a lot of EM. He's able to support with EM, so the higher EM, he's able to support his party members with doing even more elemental damage. Also, if you get him C6, he's a pretty good ANEMO main DPS because he's able to get elemental infusion as long as he uses E and Q, which is pretty often in this game. So yeah. There's nothing for me to say here except Kazuha is literally the best ANEMO sub DPS and best ANEMO support in the entire game. So yeah, there's really nothing for me to say. Kazuha is the GOAT. The greatest of all time. And yeah, that is basically it for the Kazuha showcase. So yeah, really nothing much to say here besides Kazuha is broken because, well, everyone already played Kazuha, right? He's been out since 2.0. So yeah, he is just way too good. He's way too broken. He just does a lot of animal damage. He's just good. That's all I gotta say. He's just way too good. So yeah, you see him in a lot of vises. You see him in a lot of teams. Yeah, really no surprises here. Kazuha is one of the best ANEMO characters in the game, if not the best ANEMO character. So yeah. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching this Kazuha support showcase video. If you do like the showcase, be sure to leave a like. And also, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you do subscribe to not miss out on a single upload that I publish. Again, all of your support is greatly appreciated. Liking and subscribing is really, really, really appreciated. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you do subscribe and like the video, it is greatly appreciated. Fuels me to make more Genshin content. So thank you guys for fueling that passion. And also comment down below, what do you think of Kazuha? You think he's broken? You think he's not? You think I'm over exaggerating? Or you think it's justified that Kazuha is literally the best ANEMO character in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Kazuha showcase video. And I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.